2017, and so that's what we've added to our budget, with our budget amount being $20,401,176. This will also be in the regular board meeting for your approval to adopt. The carryover is used in conjunction with our budget, but as continue the development of projects that we have in our district. Do you have any questions?
Is there any questions? Okay. Ms. Lara, do you have any questions?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next item for the public hearing. Instructional time model, flexible scheduling, testing, academic environment. Mr. Brianza?
Yes, thank you. Several years ago, the state of Arizona allowed school governing boards to approve instructional time model that would allow for flexible scheduling. Our governing board actually took action on that a couple years ago, but during that time, Somerton High School did not exist. And what we use that time for, at least currently, is when we have statewide testing. For example, juniors who need a pristine testing environment for ACT, they'll come to school while the freshmen, sophomores, and seniors are engaged at home with Canvas learning. And we would get credit and payment from the state for those students to be in attendance. This is one of 2 public hearings that are required in order for the board to take action in June to approve Somerton High School to have an instructional time model. I do have Associate Superintendent Mr. Bosch to answer any other questions if the board may have some.
Any questions for any other board members? Mr. Bosch, you don't want to add anything to?
I guess the only thing I can add to add on to what Mr. Brianza said, like testing this year, for example, we used it for our ACT Aspire for our freshmen, where the rest of our student body went home. We used it for our ACT testing for juniors. And then our professional development day was another one. So it's there in the event, say you have an AC issue, maybe there's a sewage issue where we have it approved. So just adding Somerton is the only new thing this time around.
Good. Any other questions? Okay, then we'll need a motion to adjourn the meeting for the public hearing. Okay, there's a motion by Ms. Craddock, second by Ms. Mellon. Everybody signify by saying aye. Okay, public hearing is adjourned. We'll have 10 minutes before we start the next meeting, regular meeting, so you guys want to take a break? Okay, I call this meeting to order at exactly 5:15. We're going to go ahead and, for those that just arrived, we have already done the pledge and the moment of silence on the public hearing, so we're going to skip that, and we're going to go to reports. And we'll start with the board report 2.1. Any board reports?
I was able to go to the dedication of the marquee at Somerton High and just wanted to make a public thank you to Avenir Financial for what a great communication tool. And thank you very much.
Anybody else? No? Okay, let's go ahead and move to item 2.2. Mr. Villanza.
Thank you. For my superintendent's report, I'm very excited to turn the first part over to Mr. Bosch, summer learning opportunities.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brianza. We are set to begin summer learning on June 3rd. Our schools, our counselors, academics offices have been working hard to get students signed up for summer learning. It's going to be 3 weeks, 5 days. Throughout that time period, we're in the process of getting our summer learning teachers hired. Free breakfast, free lunch, transportation provided. Students will be working through online Edgenuity courses that are specifically designed for them to fill gaps in their learning. So that's in the works.
Thank you, Mr. Bosch. Next up is very exciting. For the last few years, we've had a challenge across the district in the ceramics world, and it's called the Lidded Vessel Challenge. And normally, we would have examples in the PD classroom next door for you to peruse and see the outstanding work that our students are developing and taking pride and joy in, but unfortunately, they're in a museum right now, so they cannot be here. But I do have a COFA ceramics teacher extraordinaire, Mr. Sergio Renhill. He's going to come up and speak about the annual Vessel Challenge, which is very exciting.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, so this is our third year doing this. It started off as an idea that we had during our, I'm gonna forget what it's called, but it's where we were allowed to like meet up with our district PLC for the first time. We started brainstorming. We're trying to figure out how to unify our district as far as the ceramic world's concerned. There used to be things that we did in the past, like other types of challenges where we could get together and do all, wheel throw, et cetera, like in Olympics. But this was post-COVID, so we couldn't actually do that. So we were trying to figure out ways that we could do something that we could bring together. Ultimately, we decided on doing a challenge where we could get kids from all of our schools to participate and submit something. We were able to pick a standard to go off of and a general idea, which was the lidded vessel. We picked the top pieces, we brought them together. The Art Center was kind enough to let us host the first year. They hosted the first year, and every year they've kind of been on board. This year they were nice enough to give us our own section. So every teacher was allowed to bring 50 pieces from their school as far as ceramics is concerned. But then for ceramics specifically, they decided to host the Lidded Vessel Challenge as its own thing. So that was actually really cool. This right here was our grand champion, ceramics. We had local judges like we've been having every single year. Every year we switch it out, and every year we've had a very different response as far as the judges for what qualifies as the best in show. So this year it was the Tompkins. I don't know if everybody knows them. They're local ceramic peoples. So we were very happy we were able to get them to come and look at all of our work. Okay, this is from Hiller Ridge. Again, we have ceramic work. A lot of this stuff is firing. I don't know if anybody really knows about ceramics, but a lot of the stuff that you're seeing right now is glazes that are getting as far as 2,200 degrees. So a lot can happen. It's really scary when we're putting stuff into the kilns to see if stuff's actually going to come out. The really hot glazes could turn out really bad or really good, but in this case, the first place from this piece is an exceptional quality. I saw it in person. I was really impressed, to be very frank. Can we go? Yeah, and then here we have San Luis. Again, wide variety. You can kind of start to tell the difference between the stuff, the way that one campus teaches ceramics versus the way that another campus teaches. This is very similar to a lot of the stuff that you'd see like coming out of San Luis. Coming out of COFA, you can kind of see where we're coming from. We do a lot of more mixed media. So as far as the Samantha's first place piece, there's moss and other type of things growing off of it. We like to kind of stray from just clay. And then as far as the pie, you have epoxy and beadwork. Yeah. And then Holly is actually the only teacher that actually has students write an entire kind of artist statement to accompany their work. But the rest of us were talking about it, and we actually really like that she does that. So we're going to start stealing that. So hopefully next year you'll see an artist statement for every piece of work. That's all I have to say. I just wanted to thank the Art Center, Anna Padilla, who's in charge, and Kristen, who's in charge of putting the show together, and our sponsor, Noemi, from the Arizona Skincare Institute. Because of her, we were able to give each first and second place and grand champion a check. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Renhill. I do appreciate the effort. My son competed last year. He was not one of the top, but he is amazing ceramics. We still have the vessel in the house, which is good. So we do take pride in that, and it's wonderful having our kids be able to demonstrate another medium, so that we have the MAP program. We have amazing things on our campuses with ceramics and choir and drama, so fine arts is alive and well in Yuma Union. So thank you, Sergio. Last up, I'm going to have Ms. Olivas help me out. I just want to draw attention to the RNY Billboard Showcase. This is the 10th year in a row that we have developed a campaign around Ready Now Yuma, which every year there's a competition to have you be chosen for, and I shouldn't say really competition, but there is an opportunity for students to be chosen, and it's a rigorous process where campuses choose students to be on the billboard representing their campus. And I encourage all of you, I know it was in the Friday report, but for the public, you can go to our website and you can click on the billboard link and you can watch the videos, you can read their essays. It's an amazing opportunity to get to know more about our students at a granular level, and we're very proud of these students and the 10th year of the billboard. And with that concludes my report, Mr. Vice President Gonzalez.
Thank you. Any questions from the board for the reports? Okay, let's go ahead and move on to informational items, and we'll start with budget update overview. Mr. Gate again?
Hello again. This time I am providing our monthly budget report for our internal budget. You should have that in front of you. And the first one is our maintenance and operation budget. You can see the first page where we have our salaries and our fixed expenditures and where we are so far this time in the year. The second page is our M&O budget by department, and we are about 62% spent overall. The budget amount that we have on here, just as a reminder, this is not the revised amounts because that has not been approved yet, so you'll see that on the next one. So our budget amount that we have is $97,148,243. Of that, we have spent to date $61,137,194 for our M&O. And then if you look at our next page is our capital, and that's the same. That will be also updated. Our total budget amount is $20,404,107, and our expenditures as of May 1st, $5,005,951, so we're about 25%. And then our last page is our monthly activities fund report. There is, for the district, the ending cash balance This is for all of the schools, is $783,267.18. And then at the bottom, you can see what our year-to-date revenues and expenditures are, and the balance for that is $61,124.89. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Guys have any questions on the budget, huh? Okay. Let's go ahead and move to item number 3.2, an informational item, which is student nutrition update.
Hi, good evening. Wanted to talk to you about community eligibility provision. Which one, I'm sorry, which button do I press again?
I have no idea.
The mic and the clicker throw me every time. Community eligibility is an opportunity the district has to provide all students at every single campus free breakfast and free lunch. And it's based on our eligibility, I guess if you want to hit the next slide. The benefits of CEP is increased student participation. It eliminates any stigma at all. It eliminates student debt. Everybody's on the same playing field in terms of meals. It really is a great opportunity. As I mentioned, it's still, with CEP, we're still able to continue with supper at no cost, and then the snack bars will still be open at additional fees, like chips and soda and so forth. CEP is based on our identified student percentage. So those are the students that TANF, some of the migrant, homeless, and they've added Medicaid free. So our eligibility numbers have increased over before. That's why now is a good time. So our overall, with the calculation, they take your projected identified student percentage, that's identified students against enrollment. We're on an average of 56.5%. Then CEP, if you want to go to the next slide, they use this multiplier of 1.6. So we're actually 90.4% of our student body will be eligible for free meals, and the rest will be paid. So our reimbursement values will be substantial to be able to offset our costs. Next one. Obviously, Cibola and Hilly Ridge, it will, the biggest impact, we're anticipating a moderate 15% increase, which we'll probably have higher in terms of participation. We also used current numbers. So we're not, the numbers that we based our projections on and our, whether we're gonna stay in the red or the black, was based on current. We didn't wanna, inflate the numbers by using projected participation. Next slide. Obviously, marketing will be a huge, open houses, registration, banners, flyers. We wanna make sure that our participation is maximized from the get-go and that parents know the benefit. It really is a great program and a great opportunity for us. Obviously, we have to manage our costs because, our reimbursement value won't have the paid income, but we'll still have a la carte. We are gonna add some additional part-time staff at Cibola and Hilly Ridge to be able to support the added service and the added increased meals using the snack bar and kiosks in the on campus. Next one. I guess that was the last slide. Is there any questions?
Any question from board?
Yes, can we go back to the second list when you first started?
Second list, the identified student percentage?
All the way to the beginning.
All the way.
Okay, go back. Right there.
Okay.
Okay, let's get fit for, okay, snack bars will be available upon.
For a fee. So currently our snack bars are open and students can either pay cash or use their student account. They could buy Smart Snack compliant chips, water, ice cream, and some soda selections, Gatorade and so forth. So we'll still operate that. Students can still use cash, or we'd like to use student accounts where they have money put on their meal accounts. So that'll be separate, but the meals will be at no cost, breakfast and lunch.
When you mention sodas, is that
Diet soda.
Diet.
Diet soda. All of the items that we sell in the snack bar have to meet Smart Snack compliance, so it's within that calorie, sodium, sugar
So like
balance.
Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke.
Correct.
That is considered healthy.
It's not necessarily healthy. I mean, we have Gatorades that have the zero sugar. We also have water, and then we have whole grain chips and whole grain cookies and so forth.
One last question.
Sure.
For this program, how much is the federal government giving us?
They're going to give us, so for, let's say, out of 100 meals, 90.4 of those meals would be reimbursed at the free value, and then the remaining would be at paid. Right now, the reimbursement value is current. We're in the black. It's close to $4 a meal for free and 45 cents for paid. So it's very similar to what we're getting reimbursed right now, except now we're claiming free, reduced, and paid at Cibola and Hilla Ridge. We have a couple schools that are currently on CEP, San Luis, Vista, and Yuma, and then Somerton and Kofa were base year provision too.
Would you be able to give me a dollar amount?
Dollar amount, right now I would hate to
Right.
spitball. I certainly can get back to you.
Okay.
The reimbursement values that we base this on are current, knowing that they're going to go up July 1. So our values or our payback from the government will be a little higher in starting July 1.
Okay.
What we could do is maybe in a Friday report, have some more detailed information from Executive Director Hildreth so that I can share out within a Friday report, at a later date.
Okay.
So-
That'll work.
How the numbers play
Yeah, sure.
out, I totally understand.
Well, I know you don't have them right now, but
Yeah.
that's fine. Very well.
One thing I want to add is I know Executive Director Hildreth, you've done a great job working to make sure every student has a meal every day. And when we had to take some schools off of totally free because we redid our boundaries, she worked very hard this year with her staff to see if there's a way that every student would be able to have free lunch, because breakfasts were free anyway, but it was the free lunch where when a student doesn't have a healthy, nutritious lunch, it kind of makes the afternoon go long. So very thankful and a lot of gratitude for her and her staff to put us in that position again.
Okay. Very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? No? Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on. Next item on the agenda, 3.3, which is Azalas by Mr. Bosch. Or-
Yes, well, I'll introduce our Director of College and Career Readiness, Ms. Crystal Buckley, who's going to talk about a great leadership opportunity that we have for people within our district, and I know we have some guests here tonight, so thank you.
Absolutely. Good evening, Governing Board and Superintendents. I'm here to recognize 20 distinguished leaders in our community who have started their journey with AZ Alice. AZ Alice is an organization for aspiring leaders and superintendents. So their mission is to promote an effective leadership that produces the best possible outcomes for students. At its core, one of the things that they offer is the Aspiring Leaders Training Program, and these workshops are designed to cultivate leadership skills among aspiring educators who want to make a difference in their community. This year, the program is hosted here in Yuma, and we have 28 participants from not just our district, but other districts in our community. 20 of those belong to us. So their first year, they embarked on 5 sessions. These took place throughout the year, and they range from panels with superintendents, principals, financial people. I think Diane Cordery was one of those, and Mr. Brianza was one as well. And they also did a session with human resources and a session to help prepare for future interviews and mock interviews with the group. It's really important to note that out of the 20 leaders, or I think it's important to note, out of the 20 leaders that we have attending these workshops, we are already seeing the fruits of those labors because 3 of those have moved on to leadership positions within our district. So we're already seeing their growth. So when I call your name, if you're here, please stand up to be recognized. David Barrios, Jeremy Beck, Kristen Collins, Ian Coltman, Roxanne Cordell, Joe Daly, Anastasia Dawson, Jeanette Guerra, Jacqueline Hill, Kayla Kernsborough, Teresa Lauren, Cecile Lopez, Alba Mazariegos, Jonathan Parrish, Marlise Rivera, Marcy Sanchez, Kayla Thrushman, Tiffany Tipton, Ansel Trainer, and Lorraine Zaragoza. These are some of the folks who have participated and have done an excellent job. And I also want to just give them a lot of credit because these are long afternoons where they're there till 5 in the evening, and a lot of the times they're having deep conversations about what could the job potentially look like. And I give them a lot of credit for giving up time in their classroom, in their offices, with their students. So thank you guys for everything that you've done. I also have invited a couple of folks. One of them cannot be here today. She's feeling a little under the weather, but I wanted to share her statement as to what the workshops have meant to her. I've invited Kristen Collins, who's an aspiring leader in our district, and she's currently an AVID coordinator for Cibola High School, and Joe Daly, who is an assistant principal at Kofa High School, just to share a little bit of what they've learned and gained from this opportunity. So Kristen's statement, and I should probably put my glasses on so I can read what I'm doing here. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be a part of the AZ Alice Aspiring Leaders cohort. Our workshops have given me leadership tools to use in my current role as an English teacher, AVID coordinator, and given me the motivation to seek further leadership in our district. This program is the perfect example of growing our own in YUHSD, and I look forward to the second year of learning and collaboration. And I'll have Mr. Daly share his thoughts.
Thank you, Ms. Buckley. Hi guys, how we doing? I wanted to say thank you to all of you just for providing the opportunities. Honestly, I can speak on behalf of some of our coworkers here. When you see that list, it's not just assistant principals, right? As a matter of fact, there's more teachers than you saw assistant principals. It was really unique. I know they can attest to it as well. We had the panels, but what was really exciting, we had a mock interview for assistant principals, so they put teachers in those roles, and then they had mock interviews for head principals, and so they kind of were challenging the group that was there. I thought was the most enjoyable moment were the scenarios. I'm hoping for some that it didn't scare them, like, oh man, I'm not dealing with that. But I do have a lot more respect for our head principals, and I also have a lot of respect for associate superintendents and superintendents, because some of the scenarios you pick an answer, and then it gives you like the next step in it, and you almost kind of thought like whatever you picked, you were just like there was gonna be something going on. We had a lot of good conversations. They were a little bit of not heated argument, but just it was neat to see the different perspectives and the different lenses that we could see from a teacher all the way to an assistant principal. What I got out of it is more, I would say, the word confidence. You know, where I'm like, okay, I'm in this business now, and okay, this is what we got to do. And at the end of the day, it comes down to what is best for students. And if every question we could answer in those scenarios is like, what would be best for students? There's always a ripple effect. We do see that. We're not going to always make everybody happy in a leadership role. But for me, it gave me the confidence to look for more, inspiring to be even possibly going to be a head principal. And I'll say this, not right now, Mr. Brianda, but maybe even sitting there one day. And so just, I want to thank you guys. And it was just this is the first year where it's a 2-year phase, and we're really excited to keep growing and going into next year. So thank you.
And again, as Joe said, thank you guys for providing us with the opportunity and the ability to bring this program to Yuma and continue to grow our leaders.
Is there any questions? Because I do have a question. Any question from the board? Is this just a local organization in the state of Arizona, or is it a national level?
It's actually, the Arizona is obviously AZ Alice is based in Arizona, but they're part of a larger network called the Four Corners, and so it's Utah, Colorado, Nevada, and Arizona. And this cohort has the opportunity to apply to be a part of the Four Corners, which would be for those that are aspiring to be superintendents.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Any other questions? No? Okay, let's go ahead and move on to item 3.4, first read of policies.
So, good evening, Mr. Gonzalez, board members. I'm here to actually talk about two of these policies. One, I do not know anything about drones, so I will yield the floor to someone else when it comes to that one. But the two that I'm talking about is GCCA and GDD, which both policies are related to leave. The first one is related to our general leave, and one of the things that we're trying to do here is actually we're taking the leave, the same amount of leave that individuals are getting now. We're just dividing it, the accrual, into two buckets. The first bucket being within the first part of their year of coming back. I believe that's extremely important as teachers and other staff members are gone during the summer. They come back, you start getting a lot of people mingling around. You kind of get germs and things like that going on. People get sick. One of the things that I wanted to guard against, and I've noticed in my very short time here, after being here almost a full year, yay me, is that one of the biggest things I noticed was that new people that we brought on here at the district, they didn't have time. So if they had a sick kid when school got back in session, they had to decide, do I stay home with my sick child or do I go to work because I need that pay? And I think we do employees a disservice when we do that. And I think this is a really good step for us as a school district to show our employees that not only do we care about students, but we care about them as well. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Vice President Gonzalez, if I could address the policy that Mr. Lambert's not an expert on, the drone.
Sure.
I would like to turn that over to Ms. Cordery, because we did have a request at the beginning of the year to do some work with drones in our district, but there's huge liability with that. So Ms. Cordery was tasked with developing that, and we actually, she brought her friends, so I'll let you take over.
Good evening. I'm Matt Diamond.
And I'm Jessica Slaughter.
We were contacted in November of this year and got the privilege to work with a few people in this room on this and discussing things from a couple of different angles. I get to look at things more from the in-classroom curriculum side. Coming from CTE, we offer drones in a couple different programs. We actually have an actual drones program course to train students and get kids licensed for the Part 107, which is your actual commercial drone pilot license. And then we also have it invested in our ag program as well. So those kids they don't get the pilot license level of training, but they have the opportunity to take that test if they choose to do it through like work-based learning and things like that. And then there are also a couple other programs that have some standards in there about drones. So when I looked at this in this group, it was through the lens of what can we do in the classroom, legality-wise, how do we make this work? We brought some government agencies in, we brought in some of our industry members in to discuss all of these things on this panel. I had different reasons for wanting to be in there than Ms. Slaughter did, and I'll let her tell you about her experience with it and why, because she's really the one that brought this to all of our attention to get into the room and have a conversation about it.
Yeah, so the question at the meeting was, how do we get here? And I said, it's me. I wanted to bring a drone in for the football program at Gila Ridge for film analysis, breakdown, so that the athletes could make, their highlight reels, but so that we as coaches could also film our practices, film our games, just to get a more in-depth look at what was going on. And I tried to get a drone approved as a donation, and we said, wait, we don't have policies. So I got to be part of the committee to make this policy, and I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful to be able to give my input as well as hear input from CTE side as well, and we're pretty excited about this.
At the end of the day, we want to give every kid that we can the opportunity to use these technologies, build on these technologies. They're up and coming. It's everywhere. We're going to see a lot of change in it. As we did this, there was a lot of talk back and forth of what's good for me in the classroom might not be good for them outside. And when it come down to it, you always have to follow the FAA rules no matter what. And how do we mesh all of these things together to make that work? And we've came up with what we feel is a good plan for our district, the kids in our district, and our community. And hopefully it provides everyone with a lot of opportunities to use these technologies.
And we also have the opportunity to be the first district in Arizona to have that drone policy, and we kind of get to be the guiding light out there of what works and how to do it.
That's nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions? No?
No.
Okay, our next item on the agenda is item number 4, which is called to the public. Any person wishing to speak may present the information at this time only. All presentations are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes and a maximum of 15 minutes of each subject. Before you begin to speak, identify yourself, clearly stating for the record your name. Comments by the members of the governing board in response to any public comments will be limited to asking staff to review the matter of requesting a rescheduling of the matter for further consideration at a later date. I do have some call to the public people that want to speak. We'll start with Wendy McKay, and she is our Yuma High Corollary alumni.
Hello, Wendy McKay. Good evening, members of the Governing Board, Superintendent Brienza, and Associate Superintendents. I was born and raised in Yuma. I have worked in the farming industry for close to 40 years here, and I am a community leader currently serving on the boards of the Humane Society of Yuma, the Yuma Community Food Bank, the Foundation of Yuma Regional Medical Center, and Bridget's Gift. I am a proud Yuma High criminal, paroled in 1986, but today I am here as a former student of Taylor McBride and an alumni of the Yuma High Corollaires. This evening, my fellow Corollary alumni and I stand before you to respectfully submit our request to consider naming the auditorium located within Snyder Hall at Yuma High School, the Taylor Dean McBride Auditorium. Prior to preparing this request, we carefully reviewed the district's updated facilities naming policy to ensure that our request falls within the guidelines. We have also conferred with Mr. Fritz, principal of YHS, and district leaders for their guidance and assistance in exploring the history of Snyder Hall to determine whether the auditorium was ever officially named Snyder Auditorium. We found that the building itself was dedicated as Snyder Hall in memory of E.Q. Snyder, beloved principal of Yuma Union High School from 1925 to 1938. However, the auditorium that sits within the building was never officially named Snyder Auditorium. We do respect E.Q. Snyder's legacy, and we do not believe that the naming of the auditorium to the Taylor Dean McBride Auditorium would take away from his legacy. On the contrary, honoring our dear teacher, friend, mentor, and longtime community leader would simply add to the illustrious history of the Yuma High School legacy. Mr. McBride, a YHS alumni himself, devoted most of his life teaching music to the students of Yuma High School. While choral music was where the majority of his time was spent, he also taught band and instrumental music during his many years at YHS. Music was, and it still is, our common denominator, but it was always so much more than the music. We became a family, and for many of us, it was a support system that we didn't realize that we needed. To this day, I carry with me, and I attribute my continued drive to be a leader in our community, to what I learned in my years in Corollaires. In closing, our collective goal is to present a picture that clearly conveys Taylor McBride's significant contributions, not only to his students, but to the Yuma Union High School District and the greater Yuma community. Our hope is that we may be included on the agenda of your June 8th meeting and have an opportunity to present to you a more robust plan. And I might add that any costs associated with this project and request will be paid for by donations from the Corollary alumni and former students. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Okay, now we have Gina Flores.
Good evening. My name is Gina Flores, also a proud Corollary alum, a Yuma High criminal, and I was paroled in 1978. I'm here in support of naming the auditorium located within Snyder Hall as a Taylor Dean McBride Auditorium. Allow me to explain. I'm going to speak on how dear my friend and musical mentor Taylor McBride is, and how he affected my life, my family, and the lives of many others. When I was 10 years old, I met Taylor McBride after moving to Yuma with my family. We were military, a single-income family of 5 living in a 16-foot trailer. Yuma was my 4th move as a military brat. My very perceptive father found Taylor McBride and his Corollaires very quickly after moving to Yuma. My father introduced my talented, performance-ready oldest brother to Mr. McBride. That is when my family's long story and history with Taylor McBride and the Corollaires began. That introduction greatly influenced my parents to put roots down in Yuma. I finally had a forever home. My father since passed, but considered Taylor as one of his deepest and dearest friends. At the age of 11, with Taylor's support and direction, I sang my very first solo in that very auditorium that we're hoping to name after him. Fast forward to high school, Mr. McBride was again supporting me, directing me as a Yuma High Corollaire myself for 3 years. I'm a legacy Corollaire. My two brothers, Anthony and Chris, were Corollaires before me. My nephew and niece, Corollaires after me. It's a cherished, shared family memory. Mr. McBride began his career teaching at 65. He led numerous music programs, Corollaires, band, concert choir, madrigals, sing thing. I was involved in them all. Through his music programs, students learned real-world skills, punctuality, reliability, hard work, confidence, poise, and stage presence. The number of hours that Taylor, as well as his wife Patsy, spent with us, it was a gift. Taylor's gifts surpass music. He's gifted with people. He's able to bring all types of students together through humor, friendship, and his ability to give unselfishly of himself. His gift created a family of friends spread across the globe who have remained friends and resources to each other for decades. Countless numbers of Mr. McBride's students felt that Corollaires was the one class that kept them in school. Unknowingly, selflessly, he turned the lives of many students around in a way that allowed them to experience success in school and then later in life. Using music, Taylor helped form who we all are. He taught us to care about each other and to take care of each other. Taylor and his wife, Patsy, made us feel like we were truly a part of their family, every one of us very special to him in our very own way. To describe his students, we were the freaks of 7th Avenue, cheerleaders and farmers, student council presidents, outcasts, athletes, band geeks, and valedictorians. We were popular, and some were nobodies. We were white and brown and yellow and black, and from the wealthiest to the poorest of families. Thank you for allowing me to share with you how important he's been to me, my family, and the community. I sincerely hope that you will accept our request to name the auditorium located within that hall as the Taylor Dean McBride Auditorium. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Riley Nelson.
Good evening. My name is Riley Nelson, and I am here as proxy for my mother, Erica Nelson, who couldn't be in attendance because she is in Texas caring for her mother, who just returned home after being hospitalized for a month. I know how much the Yuma High School Corollaires means to her because I grew up hearing all about her experiences. She states, I would also like to show my support for the naming of the auditorium in Snyder Hall to the Taylor Dean McBride Auditorium. As a lifetime member of the Yuma fine arts community, I have been part of many wonderful groups, including, but not limited to, the Cibola High School choral and theater programs for many years. Having said that, no group will have my heart the way the Yuma High School Corollaires does. I know my contribution to the success of the groups and programs I have participated in as an adult is because of the experiences I gained in Corollaires. Even more importantly, I owe it all to Mr. Taylor McBride. A lot of who I am today is because Mr. McBride gave me the opportunity to learn, grow, develop my talents, and be a leader. He challenged me to play piano when I felt I wasn't capable enough. I distinctly remember one day at lunch, he sat with me and helped me learn the introduction to a song I was convinced I couldn't play until I played it correctly. He encouraged me to use my organizational skills and musical talents to help choreograph songs, teach choral sectionals, and organize events Corollaires hadn't ever done. I have used the skills and experience I gained in Corollaires every single day of my life. Every time I work with students as a director or teacher, I've tried to emulate the way Mr. McBride helped me. I know many other Corollaires have the same story as I do. Mr. McBride was a teacher to many, literally thousands. He was loved by all, but he was more than a teacher to some of us. He was the one who believed in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. He was there when we needed him. He helped cultivate what Corollaires offered each of us, a place to belong. From 1964 to 2009, Yuma High was known for the Corollare program and was the reason most people attended events in the auditorium in Snyder Hall. His impact and legacy have reached all corners of the globe. Corollare alumni are doctors, lawyers, farmers, educators, philanthropists, politicians, MIT graduates, Grammy Award-winning artists and composers, mothers, fathers, and everything in between. Positive, contributing members of society, especially in our own Yuma community. Being part of the Corollare family is one of the things I am most proud of. I have a connection with the class of '79 just as I do my own class of '97. We have Corollare reunions to gather as family and friends to celebrate each other. Most importantly, we gather as family to celebrate the man who ties us all together, Mr. Taylor McBride. Thank you, Erica Nelson.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move out to the consent items.
Vice President Gonzalez, I think there might be one more
Oh, I'm
call to
sorry,
public.
I apologize.
No, that's okay.
It was brought late, but
It's fine, yeah.
okay, now we have Joanne Pfizer.
Can I give you guys these first? Good evening, Governing Board and Superintendent and Associate Superintendents. I'm Joanne Pfizer with the Yuma County Anti-Drug Coalition, and I'm honored to stand before you today. I want to express my deepest gratitude to you, the esteemed members of the school board, for granting me this opportunity to share with you a little bit about Grad Night. I'm thrilled to announce a remarkable collaboration between the Yuma County Anti-Drug Coalition and the Optimist Club of Yuma and our community champions. Together, we're bringing back Grad Night for our Yuma County graduates after being gone for 10 years, which is a long time. This year, we are proud to host this much anticipated event at Desert Sun Stadium. So we're taking over the ball field. Very excited. Tonight, I have the pleasure of sharing with you the poster that has been distributed to our local high schools, spreading the word about the exciting event. Additionally, we have created a dedicated website page and Facebook event where all the permanent details regarding Grad Night can be found. And just to boot, this is like the perfect night to share with you guys. An article came out in the newspaper today regarding the event. So there are more details there for all of the community to see. Allow me to highlight a few key points. All 2024 high school graduates in the Yuma County area get to attend this event for free because of the community partners and champions that are supporting this event. We're very, very excited for that. Not only do they get to attend and come in for free, everything at the stadium that night is free for them. So there'll be music, there'll be fun, there'll be games, there'll be food, water, sodas, Gatorades, all that good stuff. Everything for the students will be free. We'll have raffle prizes throughout the night, including TVs, microwaves, air fryers, blankets, chairs, things just to get them started with college and just to have a fun night. And the biggest and best part of this event is that it's a safe environment for our students to celebrate their accomplishments. And I know that in the history of Grad Night, that's why it was founded, and we're excited to bring that back to our students and celebrate them. But once again, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the school board members and their support, and our community partners for their unwavering dedication. Together, we are making Grad Night an unforgettable celebration for our graduates in Yuma County. And if you have any questions, I will put it out there. Corey said that's a loaded question. Do you guys have any questions about the event?
Unfortunately, we can't do it when
It's going to be fun. Thank you.
Okay, now let's Go ahead and move out to the consent items. Adoption of items of routine included and those that are normally do not require deliberations on the part of the governing board. A board member may pull out any item discussed and vote separately. Anybody wants to pull out an item? No? If not, someone like to entertain a motion?
I'd like to move that we, the governing board, approve the consent items as listed.
Okay, there has been a motion and a second to approve the minutes.
The consent items.
The consent items, sorry. All those in favor signify by saying aye. It's been motion has been by Ms. Mallon, second by Ms. Craddock. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next item on the agenda will be the action items, and we'll start with item 6.1, which is consideration to accept donations. It is a long list, but I'll try to go fast. Okay, Cibola High School, Arizona Community Foundation of Yuma donated food and decor to Cibola High School counseling for their senior award ceremony. The value of this donation is $1,100. Caballeros de Yuma and Company donated $350 to the Cibola High School girls soccer program to be used as needed. Cesar Castillo donated novels to the Cibola High School library to use to supplement the current catalog. The estimated value of the donation is $85. Gila Ridge High School, Judith Tilling donated angle grinders and cut-off wheels to the welding class at Gila Ridge High School. The total value of this donation is $6,280. Brooklyn Marchand donated concession items to the class of 2027 at Gila Ridge High School. The estimated value of this donation is $78.90. Maria Razo donated concession items to the class of 2025 at Gila Ridge High School. The estimated value of this donation is $216.21. Glazier Clinics donated $400 to the Gila Ridge High School Athletic Department. B&E Services donated 4 portable toilets, 2 hand washing sinks, sink service and toilet service to Gila Ridge High School class of 2024 to be used during the graduation ceremony. The estimated value of this donation is $415.50. Kofa High School, Royal Dancers, Parent Booster donated $25,715? Wow. To the Kofa Royal Dancers to be used for travel expenses. Adrian Beck donated honor course for Kofa High School National Honor Society graduating seniors. The estimated value of this donation is $20. San Luis High School, Rydell Holding LLC donated $1,000 to the San Luis High School Counseling Department to be used for Senior Awards Night. Somerton High School, the Union Print Shop donated 58 shirts for faculty and staff to commemorate Somerton School's first year. The estimated value of this donation is $102.51. Mrs. Howdigi LLC donated a U.S. flag for the athletic field to Somerton High School. The estimated value of this donation is $910.56. The City of Somerton donated $500 to the Somerton High School athletic programs to be used for boys and girls track and field programs. An anonymous donor donated artificial turf to Somerton High School baseball and softball programs. The estimated value of this donation is $2,000. Steve Card donated a Connex storage container to the Somerton High School athletic program to store items as needed. The estimated value of this donation is $2,000. Yuma High School, 4th Avenue Gym Athletic Fund donated foam turf and installation to the Yuma Union High School weight room. The estimated value of this donation is $4,125.36. Gina Legros donated graduation stalls to the Yuma High School MAP program to be worn by seniors during graduation. Estimated value of the donation is $225. Yuma Union High School District, Arizona Ski and Care Institute LLC donated $400 to the following Yuma Union High School district schools: Cibola High School, San Luis High School, Kofa High School, to be used for the winners of the Yuma Union High School District Liddell Vassell Challenge. The Total value of this donation is $400. Kofa Drama Club donated costumes to the Yuma Union High School District to be used for future shows. The estimated value of this donation is $2,111.52. The total donations of this month is $50,062.56. And total year-to-date donation is $425,715.47. Any questions? No? Okay. Like,
I'll make the motion to approve the donations as presented.
okay, there's been a motion from Mr. Lara and a second by Ms. Craddock. Any more questions? No? Okay, let's go for a vote. Everybody signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay? Okay, passes. Next item on the agenda is the consideration to approve list of hard staff positions for school year 2024-2025 for the referral payment program.
Good evening again. So I'm before you again here tonight to talk a little bit about the consideration for approval for hard-to-staff positions for the school year 24-25. Currently in the 23-24 school year, we received 9 teacher referrals from our current staff. We actually hired 9 teachers, and all 9 of those people were appropriately certified. The first payment has been made. Those are made in $500 increments based off of each semester for a total of $1,000. So as part of this program, the district needs to determine on an annual basis which positions are considered hard-to-staff positions and therefore eligible for the referral payment. And I believe that list we've pretty much decided that all of the teaching positions are considered hard-to-staff. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Okay,
Thank
let's go ahead and proceed to vote. Sound like to make a motion, please?
I move that we approve all certified teaching positions for the 24-25 school year as hard-to-fill staff positions and eligible for referral payment program.
I'll second that.
Okay, there has been a motion to approve the recommendations as stated. Motion made by Ms. Craddock, second by Mr. Lara. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Okay, motion passes. Let's go move on to item number 6.3, which is consideration to approve college credit by exam.
Ms. Cordery, would you like to share some information regarding that?
Love to. So this is an annual event that we get funding from the state for students that in 23-24 actually took their AP tests and they got 3 or above, and our teachers get funding based on that from the state. Half of that money goes to the district to use for PD and things like that, and the other half of that payment goes to the teachers. So this allows us to make those payments to the teachers that have qualified to the tune of like $30,000 to our teachers, distributed by the number of students that they had in their class that passed the tests.
Any questions on the board? Mr. Brianza, you don't want to add any of that? No?
No, I think Ms. Cordery did a very, very nice job explaining the breakdown.
Okay, will someone entertain a motion, please?
I move that we, the governing board, approve the college payment by exam incentive payments to the teacher of record in the associated classroom.
My second.
Okay, it has been a motion and a second to approve the college payment for exam incentive payments to the teachers of record in the associated classroom. Motion made by Mrs. Mellon, second by Ms. Craddock. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Let's move ahead and move on. Item number 6.4, consideration to approve the 2024-2024 budget revision.
This is a action item based upon the public hearing we had at 5 o'clock. So if there's any questions, once a motion's been made and seconded, then Diane Cordery is available for, and Ms. Higuera is available for answers as well.
Any questions from the board before we move on to vote?
I move to approve the budget revision for the 2023-2024.
Okay, there's been a motion by Ms. Mellon and second by Ms. Craddock to approve the budget revision for 2023-24. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Nay. Okay, motion passes. Let's move on to item number 6.5, consideration to approve personnel action.
So good evening again. So this one is a little bit of a unique situation here. In this kind of situation here, the student enrollment trends over the past 5 years for the hospitality management program at COFA has shown a consistent decline in student interest and participation in the program. Therefore, the decision has been made to sunset the program after the 23-24 school year. As a result, in asking to not offer a contract for the 24-25 school year for the hospitality management teacher. I will share that I have had conversation with this individual. They very much understand where we're at, and also leaving that conversation left the door open for that individual to also apply for other positions within the district if something in the area that they believe they qualify for was to come open. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Any questions from the board?
I move that the governing board not renew the contract for the 2024-25 school year of Mr. Raymond Madrid, hospitality management teacher at COFA High School, based on the decreased student interest and participation in the program.
Second.
Okay, there has been a motion by Ms. Mellon, second by Ms. Craddock, to approve the recommendation as stated. Any questions from the board? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Okay, motion passes. Okay, let's go ahead and move out to item 6.8, which will be the
6.6.
6.6, I'm sorry. Consideration to approve new job description for IEP facilitator.
It's me again. Yeah, I was fixing to sit down, and then I heard 6.6, and I was like, yeah, I better stand right here. This one is a position that we're actually it's a new job description that we're putting in our San Luis location for an IEP facilitator. And in the background there, it just states that is ensuring compliance with federal and state special education programs for students with disabilities and providing leadership in navigating the complex compliance procedures, organizing and supervising IEP team meetings, providing training for staff on compliance and legal aspects of the IEP process. They'll be reviewing and creating documents such as IEPs, BIPs, and PWNs, and providing case management support as needed. They'll also be coordinating extended school year services to ensure students receive comprehensive and continuous education support that is customized to their needs.
Any questions? Well, before
I move that we, the governing board, approve the job description as written.
Okay, there has been a motion to approve the recommendation as stated by Ms. Mellon, second by Mr. Lara. Any questions on the board? I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is this like a teacher position pay job, or is it differently?
So it is. It would be under the teacher's pay scale. It's just a position that we feel that is needed to help service that population of students that we have, and to make sure that we're doing things right and staying in compliance.
I would like to add that in the past, we've had teachers on special assignment doing pockets of this, and this just formalizes a job description as well for expectation of those employees and of their supervisors.
Yes.
Okay, any other question? Okay, let's go ahead and entertain, we already made a motion on that. Let's go for vote. Everybody was in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Okay, motion passes. Go ahead and move on to item number 6.7, discussion and possible action to propose legislative items for consideration for the 2024 ASBA political agenda.
So this is a yearly practice that's taken to the governing board every year. And I think I sent some messaging out earlier in last week in the Friday report on the track history in the last few years. So governing board has been given these materials ahead of time. So based upon a motion and a second, then there could be conversation.
Right, we have to vote before we can move on to. Would someone like to make a motion to take action on this particular item and discuss about it? Is there a motion? No, I just,
I move to discuss the ASBA, excuse me. Go ahead.
okay, somebody second the motion? Nobody? Okay, you make the motion, second the motion? I did. Oh, okay. There's been a motion by Ms. Craddock, second by Ms. Mellon to discuss the item for the consideration of this item. Mr. Vance, you have more information?
Yes, essentially now is an opportunity for the governing board to discuss if they would like to vote in favor or not of the political agenda for the 2024, and also reaffirm the priorities and add any other priorities that they think is considered. And once again, I think I gave out information in the Friday report on where the governing board has fallen over the last 5 or 6 year trend. So I'll let the governing board at their discretion.
How's ASBA doing? They're on shaky ground.
That's not technically the agenda item, so I do believe that you receive ASBA emails to inform yourself of where they're at.
I think we just gotta do the motion to decide we wanna continue with the political agenda, right?
Yeah, I do believe there's been a motion in a second, so this is the discussion phase, and then
Discussion
there'll be
phase.
a vote.
We are moving away from ASBA, correct?
To help inform, yes, and the board has taken action to move towards the trust for board policy services.
So I don't see why we would need to approve. If we're moving away from them, why do we need to implement?
We still are members of ASBA next year, and as I for track record, there's been times when the governing board has taken no action, or it failed because of a second, or they voted no and voted yes to approve. So essentially, it's up to the governing board's discretion on how they deem appropriate on this agenda item.
Okay, so let's go ahead and vote on this item. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Nay?
Nay.
Okay, so the motion dies, so therefore there's no action need to be taken anymore.
I believe the motion, the motion was voted down.
We'll put it down, so, good.
Yeah, there was. Discuss.
Discuss,
So,
yeah. So we're good?
I just to clarify, I believe that the motion was to discuss and take possible action. So was the vote for, was the vote for action or to end discussion? Yeah, was the,
No action.
so probably need to have a motion for no action or action, and then
So
a
I
second.
move to take no action.
I think we voted on that, yeah.
So just to help out, I believe there's a motion for no action. There'd have to be a second prior to any vote. Yeah, so, Yeah, so I think this is where it gets a little murky, so I'm going to help out a little bit. So there's been a motion and a second to take no action. So now there'd be a vote.
Okay.
A yes would mean no action, a no would mean action.
Let's go ahead and vote, and all those in favor signify by saying aye to take no action.
Aye.
Nay? Okay, so it's no action. Whew.
Different being a driver's seat, isn't it?
Okay, let's go ahead and move to item 6.8. This, we're gonna be going, called to executive session. I'd like to have a motion for that. Okay, there have been a motion to go into executive session by Mrs. Mellon, second by Ms. Craddock. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay.